building back very slowly. And are you willing to do that action? There may be a message or a text or a request from a fire sign that is coming in to ask you, I don't know, it's sort of like someone saying very sweetly, is there something I can do? And that's on one end. And that, I guess that could be if you're dealing with something in the physical realm. Now, in the emotional realm of looking at this thing, it's like someone who misses, because I did pick up the sexy time energy. It's someone who is sitting in their feels and they made a choice in the past to completely cut off a relationship here, but someone is finding that, like, perhaps the whole thing is just too much. Something is far too much, and they're missing a soulmate, soul contract person, and they're thinking of this person. And for some of you, yeah, this has to do with sexy time. Yes, it does. But there's a challenge with sort of owning the reality here of what took place before, because I do see that. Someone lost control of themselves and maybe even their desire function. And they went a little too far, went a little too far. I do also catch, Gemini, that you guys may be in possession of a piece of knowledge, a piece of knowledge talking about how things went down. If it's not you, Gemini, it could be another Gemini, an air sign, Aquarius or Libra, okay? And this person is telling you to check something. If this is how you feel, or if this is how the other person feels, then why don't you reach your hand out and try to ask, ask for this, ask for that, to be able to have something provided to you. And the person that you're speaking with right now, Gemini or whatever, there's a Sagittarius involved, and you've had a lot of experience with this person. And to me, let's put it like this. Let's say that somebody sends you a message that is a little racy, and one of you gets the balls to actually reach out and try to talk to the other person about it. There's a steadiness of energy here with this person that you're talking to. And even though there's like independence, look, there's the Devil card that's coming out. Maybe this person is a Capricorn, because I see the Sagittarius energy of the desire function being under control, and that being part of the problem to another person. It would be a lot like saying, I have no problem. I've been living a long time without having to do XYZ. I don't need that particular function in my life. And they're good with it. And for some odd reason, Gemini is up here going, yeah, but if you pick this up and actually try to address, then perhaps you could move things along in a better way. And again, I have that Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. It does carry with it an obsession on one hand, and then like a celibate energy on the other, where that person that you're speaking with, or the person that you thought things would go forward with, didn't really get up off the ground. They could have been interrupted by the devil, okay? By something here that they're attached to. And it does have a desire function around it, Gemini. Desire seems to be at the core of this message, where either someone let their desire function get away from them, or they're not showing desire at all because they've kind of gone into like a celibate state. I'm pulling again the Six of Cups in the upright. the Nine of Cups in the upright, and that Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, the Death card in the reverse, something not moving forward, and the King of Pentacles in the reverse, which is that earth sign. The Hierophant in the reverse, the Judgment in the reverse. Wow. That's a lot. But it has a lot to do with rejection, where someone is trying to make a proposal of some kind and everything's locked down. Like everything's locked down. And this person is saying, if we're already just tightly holding on to the Four of Pentacles and we barely have a grip into the mountainside here, then, you know, the consequences is that we're not going to be able to have what it is that we want. And I think for some of you, Gemini, you want to see a person, maybe you need to move, maybe you need to sign a lease, maybe there's a lease that is ending. I also see some pride over here concerning the Capricorn character. Something is proud, like pride, because the Capricorn energy has their hand out to you, Gemini, you know, showing you one action that could be taken. But on the other side of the action, I have the satisfaction of someone else, you know. But it's an individualistic kind of satisfaction. It's only for one person. Let's put it that way. Only one person feels something, and the other person, let me put it to you like this. I chase you, you chase them, they chase someone else, and around we go. Someone wanted a wish, and they didn't want to create an ending, but they did. And I do catch some regret in here for losing something. And again, it could be a sexual function of some kind, for losing something because it got way out of control. Like way, way out of control. What's going to happen with Gemini here? This fire sign that I see, they're in a position to kind of spring, you know? They're in a position to spring. Look at that. The Emperor card coming out. Removing a choice around a new beginning that's kind of like right in front of you. And if you haven't been waiting for a new beginning, I'm telling you right now, this could spin really fast, Gemini, because I got the Eight of Wands in the reverse twice. This could be very unexpected, but it's going to spin. And the way that I'm seeing it is like there's a silent, just crickets over here. Just crickets, right? And then all of a sudden, quicker than quick, a messenger runs in with a message and says, if you still feel this way about this other person, and I know that all this stuff went on between the two of you, you know, and I know that you've been waiting for something from them, maybe to come apologize, maybe to bring you something. This could be the person that's like sitting here and watching what's going to happen. Ugh. It's like just another block. You know what I mean? Another block that really upsets a person. They can feel that movement is coming and they're not getting what it is that they want. Ooh, I get some sort of fiery conversation that you're going to have with another person. Oh yeah, look at that. Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords in the upright. Because what I have is a person, it's almost like waiting for a person to leave. I'm going to wait for that person to leave, and then I'm going to sneak off over here, and I'm going to meet, oh, that's 7 of Pentacles in the reverse twice. This could be gambling. Definitely could be gambling. Taking a gamble of some sort, but one in which they know they're not going to win anything, but they are curious to see what direction things are going in. And there's a yearning of some kind, because I have, this could be a Scorpio energy. They're in the reverse, but it's sort of like saying, I'm going to wait for this person to leave, and then I'm going to sneak over and do this blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take a risk. And even though I know it's not going to go anywhere, I still want to sit here and stare at the 6 of Cups person. It could be, it's like a Pisces. They're watching what they don't have anymore, and they're seeing this relationship come together, like right in front of their face. And there's a lot of happiness here, and it's triggering something in this person that reminds them about their passion. They're watching these 2 people, I don't know, play with one another, kiss one another, goof off with one another. And I have a person who's sort of like putting their foot down and sort of like, that's it. You know, it would be foolish of me to keep doing this. You know, it was foolish of me to continue playing stupid games. Because I do kind of catch, if there's a Scorpio, Capricorn in your world, they could have followed you, Gemini. I'm not kidding. This person could have like tracked you down to see where you were going and to see what it is that you were doing. And if you were sneaking off to go hang out with, you know, Miss or Mr. Sexy Time, then the cards do show that for a foolish choice, someone comes in and locks it down really hard, like really, really hard. But that's part of the secret. Someone is trying to gain control over an unethical situation. Do you know what I'm thinking? Some of you or the other person could have been smart enough to set some sort of booby trap that would distract everybody over here while they're doing something else over here. Or maybe they're doing both at the same time, but all eyes are on this beautiful couple and the way that they look. And while all these beautiful eyes are on this beautiful couple, I have the messenger running in, trying to reverse out a certain judgment. So there's a lot of people running around in the background, trying to get something finished, done, and completed. I want to see what this person is bringing right here, this proposal, because there's a lot of memories going down about this person. They're watching the happiness. They're remembering. They're remembering. They're thinking of what they lack by watching this other couple. Yeah. Show me that Knight of Cups person, please. Oh, the Moon card in the reverse. Envy, jealousy, yes and yes, but also paranoia and fear. There's a fear of something very large and very great being taken away from a person. If you're in an affair, Gemini, and you know the details of what it is that I'm talking about. If you are in an affair, then someone could be like, this would be a request from your lover, come meet me over here. You go over and you're very happy to see them. You love to see them, except both of you know that it's wrong. And someone coming in and pretty much saying, I'm in a relationship with another person, and they want me to come in the whole way, the whole distance they want from me. right there. See the Lovers in the upright and the Nine of Swords. You may want a person the whole way, all the way. Yeah, and I'm sort of getting here that someone doesn't know if they can actually do it. It really disturbs them to not have the, I don't know, there's fear here with being able to put something up together. And there's regret. There is regret. Because they're seeing one party and saying that could have been my total happiness. It could have been, but that's not the case. There is worry and concern, though, about this committed relationship. Because I do see that publicly something is going to get shown. Right there. The Justice card in the upright. It's walking in and finding somebody still attached to the picture, still attached to the whatever. It's walking in and seeing what this person would prefer to ingest. Having a strong paranoia that this person may emotionally change their mind and having it haunt them. You guys ever be with someone, you ever be with someone who's always afraid. They're always afraid and they're always afraid. Right here. They're always afraid. They're always just chicken. They don't have the balls to go in and say enough. Or they don't have the balls to go in and make a decision. That right there. Now, I'm kind of getting the push right here to say that if you've been dealing with someone who is crazy, controlling paranoia, and they've accused you of cheating, they've accused you of lying, they've accused you of being deceptive in some way. This right here is a conversation with a trusted friend or a trusted loved one that literally says, I've never seen that person do anything like that. This person has had more than enough time to try to pull some bullshit, and they never do. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I've done, action after action after action, and they will come in and they will show me grace and love. And I can't find one damn thing, and it's upsetting to this person. You see how the Hangman is in the reverse. They're upsetting. What if you found out that you were the one that was creating the bullshit and none of it was going on? Because to a lot of people around you, they're very confused. They're very confused. Where did this Ten of Swords come from? I don't understand. You said that this person was blah, 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 and they're not. I watch how they're doing and they're happy. I watch their condition and they're completely provided for. I don't understand where all the hellish things are coming from. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, they're not able to show. One party here was playing Bobo the Fool, right? It's Bobo the Fool. And the other person was kind of like always there for them. Like a caretaker of sorts. This person is changing their mind. It has to do with worth. You know, it has to do with status in a sense, yes. But this is exploring the idea that one, things are different for this person in the sense that they probably have a support group or a family that's closely aligned with them. If they don't, they need one. They need to get one. Someone made a wrong call here. Someone made a wrong choice. And they did it here. Like, it would be like someone who's sick or dysfunctional, and they reach their hand out to do something kind unintentionally, and they make a huge mess. They make a huge mess of it. And they don't know that they're the ones at the wheel of their life. The truth of that is coming out in a hard way. And someone comes in and they say, whether I like it or not, I'm going to repair this and I'm going to make it right. I'm going to do the right thing. Whether they like it or not, they can go suck my big D. I don't care. And I am getting pointed back to like the cheating situation. If someone has been in a cheating situation, this is someone saying, it may be wrong, but I don't give an F. I don't care. There's something about a timeline that's feeling crunched. There's a timeline thing. So you see what I mean? There's all these thoughts. There's all these feelings. Oh, I didn't tell you. I was going to tell you guys. So this past week, I was sitting with one of my other VA therapists. God, they gave me like 5. Anyway, it's really poopy having to say the same story over and over and over again because each one of them wants to hear it. And I'm just like, you sit 2 hours with this one and 2 hours. They're all doing their intake. They don't know me from Adam, you know. And one of the things one of these doctors said was so insightful. He said, confusion is a gift. And I was like, what? I always used to say, you know, where there is confusion, there's a lack of direction. And that's not wrong. But he kind of added to that. And he said, confusion is a gift. I was like, I got to tell these Geminis this. Confusion is a gift because it shows us something about ourselves that's important enough to stop and try to solve and try to figure it out, you know, to approach it with a strong sense of curiosity, but also we know that that curiosity will lead us into frustration, and we will commit ourselves to going into that frustration over and over and over, because whatever it is that we are confused about, we really need an answer to. And we're willing to make that sacrifice because it's important to us. So I was like, you could technically write, right? You could write like a workbook. You know, I am confused about the dishes. I do not understand. And that's like, you better write a journal on it, right? And on the next front page of the next journal, you were like, I do not understand why these crazy people, and you write it out because it's important to you. But when he said that, I kind of felt like, thank you. Thank you for giving me permission to struggle, because that's a human trait, isn't it? Is to struggle and to struggle hard. And unfortunately, I'm at the age where I'm at my first Chiron return. And the thing that's punching me right in the throat right now are my issues with unaliving myself. The first time I tried, I was 12. And I was born this way, you know what I mean? And I've been struggling with the idea of just accepting that I'm sick with whatever this is. And the therapy stuff that I'm going with, they're all trying to con me. And I'm not saying that it won't work, because they gave me workbook after workbook and I'm supposed to be working the workbooks, you know. I'm not saying things couldn't change. It's the fact that I'm 50 years old almost. I'm 48, and here it is again in my face. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. Remember this thing? Because it's a part of you. You got to wrap your arms around it every single day. And it's sort of like throwing me back into a spiritual recovery, because I never want to see myself that way. I don't want to look at that thing. You know what I mean? I'm busy. I got stuff to do. I got friends to hang out with and meals to cook for Heather because I love Heather. But the truth of the matter is I do have this. And you know how many people know how to deal with my shit? How many people know how to deal with your shit, Gemini? Nobody, right? Very few. Just maybe even a fingernail. So it's not like you don't struggle. Gemini is all about struggle. Hang on, Heather just got home. So I think to struggle is human. And Gemini, I think the past 2 weeks, hopefully, you've had a lot of support with people coming in and showing you the kind of support they can love you with. And if they haven't, I hope they will. I'm being reminded of that chimney that just fell off that building in the Bronx. Can you believe that? Now I had a good friend of mine, and she lived in those buildings, those brownstones, and she used to tell me stories. And I told her, you need to move to North Carolina and get out of there. And she did. Thank goodness she did. Yeah. There was like 2 years of struggling with her on that. Finally got her out of that building, and now I know why. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? But back to your reading, I see that a very strong leadership kind of choice is going to be made. You may be waiting to hear right here about a new offer. And once that new offer or offering kind of comes in, there's a getting up and taking charge and changing something about it. You know, I love this card, and I wish that the Justice card like this should have been on a Gemini card, because that's Gemini's reference point at all times. Gemini's reference point is looking at yourself and what you have and trying to make those connections, right? Trying to understand the why of a lot of things. And I do think this sort of, it's a lot of divine masculine energy here. And if someone's been on the run and they've been avoiding a situation, there is someone coming in and saying, hey, it's time to address this. Like, you need to get up and get her done. And we have the worry and the concern about whether or not this judgment call is going to be the right one. But to tell you the truth, Gemini, I think after this, you've pretty much tried every different way that you know how, right? Einstein, was it Einstein or was it Edison, tried 6,000 ways. He found 6,000 ways for a light bulb not to work. And if you're going to sit and think and overthink about another person coming in and talking with you or not, I think perhaps you taking charge of the choice and the decision, because right now this would be like being in a whirlpool to me and just spinning and just spinning. I can't stand being on the edge of a knife waiting for the other person to make the call. And eventually I get to the point where I say, you know what, you do what you do, boo, because I'm going to go ahead and go over here. I have the Ace of Cups coming in, and you perhaps presenting a query, a question, reaching out to move something forward your dang self. Maybe even finding a different way to move something forward and around. Going straight to that Hierophant instead of waiting for them to talk. Going straight to the records yourself. Calling the hospital yourself. This is getting up and doing for yourself and making that choice and decision to create that tower moment for yourself. Yeah, because right now it's at a full stop. You don't want any surprises. You want things to a point where you can create a choice. And there may be someone close to you that can help. Here's that choice that you're waiting on. Do I stay or do I go? Oh, this is an invitation. Okay, if you've been waiting on this person to call, stop waiting. You reach your hand out and call this person your dang self. Because apparently between maybe 2 to 4 of you, this is coming together and resolving something. See the 6 of Pentacles in the upright and this King of Swords in the upright with that offer. I have the King of Wands and the King of Swords. They're both in the upright. The Emperor is in the upright. So it's using that divine masculine and that divine feminine both together, coming in both together. Removing all the criticisms, removing the past traumas. If this is how somebody feels, oh, somebody's got body shame. So there's some sort of shame around what's been happening here, right? And they don't want to settle. Gemini likes options. That's the other thing. We also have somebody who's been kind of stuck in the past. With their mind has had nothing but time. A person maybe was not able to commit in the past due to indecision, because that's what I have. This person kind of going back and forth in their head because they have all the time in the world. Here's something being too risky and holding on with that 4 of Pentacles right here. Holding on to the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Something that costs too much, something that needs to be sold. There's a fear of another person changing them in some way. And they want to hold on to who they are. Show me what else Gemini needs to know, please. It's got a lot of divine masculine energy around it. A lot. There it is again, this fixing them because of their past trauma and getting mixed signals from someone around it. There's an attachment there that someone is attached to and seeking perfection. Now, I'm just getting another one, just looking at these cards. This is someone trying to come in and change the other person, or someone's been hanging on, waiting for another person to change. They're very attached to whatever this trauma, this past trauma thing is that they've been hanging on to. They've gotten a lot of mixed signals here. And okay, so you have someone who's negatively attached to a negative pattern. And on the one hand, someone is helping this person. And that same person, like on the one hand, someone is holding them and loving them and, you know, and then in a flash, all of a sudden they're like, you need to change, you need to fix yourself, you need to do this and that. This person's confused. Like, am I okay the way that I am, or do I need to change the way that I am? And it throws this person into indecision because they're not quite sure. Like, you know, does this person want me the way that I am, or do they not want me the way that I am? We have someone trying to seek perfection. They don't want to settle. There's a perfectionist bent. And I think that's more honest. Is sort of saying, I'm never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be awesome. I'm never going to be this thing. And that's not necessarily true. It's more like feeling shameful that there's an expectation at all. And the whole thing is really saying that someone doesn't want to commit. And that's the truth of it. They don't really want to commit. That's what they don't want to tell you. They don't want to commit all the way. They don't want to throw in all the way. And if there's been an accusation about that recently, Gemini, one party's going left and the other party's going right. So a disagreement maybe with a Taurus. Like if someone is saying it's just too much for me to handle, then the person goes, okay, if it's too much to handle, then get ready for a breakup, get ready for a divorce. If it's all just too much to handle, then this is how it needs to be handled. Don't string this person along anymore. Don't hold on to them anymore. Look, red lipstick stains. But there's that sexy time. And someone who stays in that sexy time thing. Man, that's really what it is. Don't string people along, or don't string this person along. If you really don't want to commit all the way, just don't string them along. And if someone is wise enough not to, like, to reserve themselves, these cards are showing that's part of the problem. Because maybe they actually do. Maybe they actually do. Setting the record straight is a really big thing here. Setting the record straight. All right, let me do this deck. Show me for Gemini, please. Show me some cards for Gemini, please. It's like someone saying, I'm never going to be like you. And every time I stand next to you, you want some perfect whatever. Look, a spark of life. I have authenticity attracts. No pressure. Simplify life. Soul awakening. Let it be. Two more. Wild and wonderful. And a heart path. On the underside of this one is life source. Let me read this one. It says, when life comes to a standstill, turn inward and focus on joy and excitement. Your inner light keeps everything alive and moving. It's not worth pursuing a path without passion. This road will only lead you to uncertainty and frustration. Follow your heart and you can't go wrong. This one says, why focus on limitations and realism? Breakthroughs and miracles require no linear explanation or method. Unexplainable and illogical magic happens every day. Oh, this one. I wanted to do this one. Show me some cards for Gemini, please. Show me some cards for Gemini. Like someone holding on to a broke-ass situation. They've been doing it for a long time. Okay, it says, I need to free myself from fear and doubts. I am a caged bird. This one says, my pride and ego got hurt, so I wanted revenge. I wanted you to hurt too. Then I have many regrets that keep me from moving forward. And then I cannot support your actions. It's too much for me to deal with. I feel unworthy of having love in my life. I feel miserable and lost. And on the underside of the deck, I depend on you too much to let you go. I have codependency issues. Ouch. I'm embarrassed by my actions and feel disgusted with myself. That's your reading, Gemini. It's been fun, and I'll see y'all next time, okay? Bye.